recent experiences and the contemporary security challenges we have now, it will be instructive to look at these other ones that I have identified. Practically, I experienced it down to you on the need to know. It's a challenge for you. Somebody does not need an information. The public does not need it, but they want you to give them. You are at the crossroad. It's a challenge for you. And later I will go and give you the strategies on how to counter all of them to mitigate them. The next one is, what is the highest level directive? We call it strategic directive. The commander-in-chief does not tell me go to war and then go to notice and then give me all the plans. He will just give you one direction, just like he gave CDS, COAS, see the CAS and the CNS, move to the notice. Finish. One sentence, that is the strategic directive. Tied up with what? National interest, which is in the national defense policy. Finish, oh. Finish. So, put that is a challenge for you. And the directive is that the country must be together. It must not scatter. So if your news go and scatter this country, you are in for it. For yourself. The next challenge you have is concealment. There's what we call camouflage and concealment. In the military, it is here. How do you conceal an information? An embedded journalist. We are moving from Mongonu to Baga, and you want me to tell you 2 hours before that time, what if it leaks? You need to know that it is a challenge for you. Your boss back in Abuja or Lagos wants to publish it. He said, where are you now? We embedded you with a force. I will not give you that information as DDI. The Director of Army Public Relations will not give you. The Navy will not give you. The Air Force will not give you. Even the security agencies, they won't give you. We work together with the immigration, the PSS, all of them, they won't give you. It's a challenge for you. How do you manage it? You will hear later. Secrecy, which he brought out succinctly. Whether you like it or not, you cannot remove that from the military and security agencies. There must be secrecy. The border closure of recent, do you know the details? You don't know. There are a lot of secrecy for your own good and for the good of Nigerians. But you can't give that to the public. Excuse me, small code. Then your personal opinion and view is a challenge to you. Some people, when they come to me, they want this information, they want me to follow their personal opinions. Remove it from you. You are sold out. As a journalist, like a soldier, what you think or what you feel about a personality, let it die. Crucify it. Sacrifices. And if you sacrifice it, how do you counter it to continue your job? You will hear so. Public expectation. The public will want most of the time to tell you what they want to hear. For instance, Transparency International came blanket statement, military is corrupt, and I rejected it. It's not true. Passing judgment on the media, they want you to tell them what they want to hear. It's a challenge to you. And if you don't tell them, they will not buy your paper. If you don't tell them, they will not patronize your station. If you don't tell them, they will not go through your app to download so that they will get their commission. So how do you manage it? So these 6 challenges, I will appeal to it. It's instructive you add them to the challenges that you have in practicing your profession. Now, from my training and background, for every challenge, there should be a strategy to mitigate it. But I have decided that all this is one dovetails from one to the other. The strategies are common, and it may not be sweet to your hearing, but I will tell you. And what are the strategies? I summarize them, analyze them into 2. Deny or delay. Just 2. If you must succeed as a defense and security agency correspondent, your strategies to mitigate your challenges that 13 plus 6, 18 altogether. Either you deny or you delay it. With any of these 2 strategies, eventually the story will still come out. Because of time, I already spent 9 minutes. Now, how do you deny when the overarching consideration is national interest? Deny it. It's better you are together in this war than you destroy this war, you will go with the whole. Delay. By the time you delay, tempers will calm down. By the time you delay, you will get the true story, the credible story to turn out. So those are the strategies to counter your challenges in the management of information. And for the role of the social media, I will advise that you avoid relay news. You know how people don't relay. There are times they have come to me here and I will ask them, where did you get that story from? They will say, I'm sorry, sir. The RAN issue was there. They were so I accosted them. I said, you are accredited here. How did you get that negative news? I was short of showing them the report. You see, Oga. Now from this source I get a relay news. It will damage your integrity. So avoid it. This area of social media, people can stay in their room, generate falsehood, generate fake news. And then because you want your paper, you want your organization to be showcased, Nami report first. I first reported it. Bam! You relay it. As per the real matter. Don't do that. Now the striking balance, like I said, is a national interest. Let me conclude. As a military man subject to authority, subject to time, I would like to humbly state that the strategic, operational, and general advantages of denying or delaying security information far outweighs damage in quotes that it can cause. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Gerald Enenche. I think, excuse me, I think he called himself that he practiced journalism by accident, but I also want to call him that he was baptized by the media because he was catapulted into being the Director of Defense Information while he's a professional military officer. So, but all the same, I want to believe that you acquitted yourself very well while you were the Director of Defense Information. And thank you very much for sharing your candid opinion about your stewardship as the Director of Defense Information. Now we move to the last discussant, who is, like I said, is a practitioner, who is also a professional public relations officer by excellence in the person of Malam Mumtaz Waj, to please give us his own views about the paper presented, as well as his personal experiences, so that we will benefit from his experience. Thank you. 7 minutes also because of time.
Thank you. I hope I don't even get to the 7 minutes because I think the paper has been over-discussed. I am here to be a discussant to the paper, but I guess I'm going to end up discussing the discussions. Distinguished ladies and gentlemen, I think I will follow suit in saying that Professor Munde has done an excellent job, and there isn't actually much to discuss, save to give some personal perspectives to the issues raised. I will do that in no particular order. Jibril started it all. I agree with virtually everything he said, especially from the perspective of having gone to Mina and see it live, which I also have had. The only experience he had that I didn't have is that I've never been embedded in any military operation. I don't look forward to it anyway. Professor Mande started his paper with one core word, patriotism. I think it is one word around which all the grammar we are blowing is revolving. The national interest is supposed to be uppermost. Whatever other interest we have must be subsumed in that kind of interest. And it is important that whatever profession or professions we practice, that becomes the core issue that drives our do's and don'ts. But I want to commend the Directorate of Defense Information for organizing this seminar, because in itself it is part of the strategic move to ensure that the balance is actually struck because there are certain things that the defense correspondents themselves need to know, even on confidential basis, for them to really be in tune with what is on ground and the implications of doing this or not doing that. So I think they must be commended for that. One very strategic thing that we must not forget to always bear in mind is the fact that we always must ensure that we have a relationship with our various stakeholders at all points in time, so that we can always dip our hands into that investment whenever the need arises. We don't wait until there is crisis before we begin to run helter-skelter, trying to talk to this editor, talk to that reporter. But by bringing people together, by talking to them, even when there is no issue at stake, we actually develop a relationship that enables us to take each other into confidence and even leak certain information and go to bed believing that such information is for their ears only. This is the beauty of establishing a relationship with critical stakeholders and even the non-critical ones. So relationship is important. To the correspondents, when Professor Monde was talking, he bemoaned the fact that in the rush to want to break a story, to be the first to break a story, you go overboard and end up peddling fake news. I want to go further than that to say that even correct information sometimes can be counterproductive, especially in this kind of environment. And like the former DDI said, it's not everything that you dish out. Everything is done on the need-to-know basis. You don't simply because there is a crisis in Umuahia, for instance, where, yes, it is true that 20,000 people have been killed. You want to rush that story out, knowing that the implications may be enormous to some people out there who are innocent, who didn't even know it happened. Nobody would say it is not true that that happened in Umuahia. But then what happens, I mean, we are better off if people do not know. But even if they have to know, it has to be in a measured way, in a very, very deliberate way, in such a way that whoever is dishing out the information is sure that they are on top of the game before it goes out. So even correct information sometimes does not need to go out. It only goes out if it is on the need to know basis, if it is necessary. And for the information managers, the proactivity that virtually everybody here has spoken about, I want to actually re-emphasize it. And I think it is partly what Professor Monde too wanted to talk about when he spoke about structured risk management. Be the one to break the news, as bad as it is. Sometimes it is better that you are the one that breaks the bad news. That way you are on top of it and you control largely how it goes out and what content of it goes out. For those of us that are familiar with Kaduna and the volatile nature of the state in those days, I was a media advisor to one of the governors at a point. It was really bad. And it so happened that the state at that point was virtually divided into two: the Christian South, the Muslim North. So, and everything that happened in Kaduna at that point was given that kind of coloration. If it was here, it is this. If it was there, it was that. I was woken up around 1 a.m. and was told that a security meeting was going on at the government house and I was needed. My attention was needed. I came in around 1:30, the entire security, all the military, police, whatever were there. The first thing that the senior military officer asked me to do was, Malam Sirajo, A church right now is on fire in Abuja. And of course, we knew the implication of that. Before you knew it, whatever the source of the fire, the news that was likely to go out in the morning was that Muslims had set that church on fire. At that point in time, we didn't know what had happened. So, Mr. Sirajo, how are we going to ensure that this story does not break? I said, no, sir. I would rather we ensure that we get on top of this story.